Hi, this is Jack Westman for ESEA here on day 2 in Jönköping, Sweden for DreamHack Winter 2013. Joining me this time is Spencer Martin Hiko from compLexity. Congratulations, you've just beaten Very Games in your group. You've won the group. It's all going very well so far. What are your initial thoughts?
I mean, the feeling is great. We had plans on beating them. We wanted to go first in the group. We wanted to go 2-0, make it through groups, have a little break today, play later, and that's what we showed up to do. Our boot camp went really well. We practiced really hard, and obviously the practice paid off. So it's a great feeling, though.
Yeah, well, congratulations again. Let's talk about your group stage results in that case. Before we talk about the Very Games match, which is obviously the highlight, you had N-Faculty, first of all, 16-5 on Inferno. Talk us through that game. What was your kind of preparation for N-Faculty? Did you expect it to be as straightforward as it was?
N-Faculty is one of those teams that had a new roster, so we didn't really know what to expect. We didn't know what map they were going to pick. We didn't have any demos of them going into it, so we didn't have any idea what to really expect from them. Obviously, core of their players were on other teams before, so we had some kind of idea, but we obviously weren't sure because they're such a new team. And to answer your question, if we thought it was going to be like that, I don't think any of us saw. I think that we thought it was going to be a lot harder than that, and it would have been probably more close. Yeah. Thankfully, we were able to just kind of run over them and give us the momentum to take us to the VG match. Okay, well, speaking of the VG match,
you've played them so many times over the last few years, right? You've met them at ESEA LAN, European tournaments, left, right, and centre. What did you talk about before the game? How did you prepare for Very Games in that half an hour you had?
Very Games is kind of turning into like the NIP team now, where everybody is kind of looking at what they do and trying to base some of their strats around what they do. Me personally, me and Semphis haven't played them with the new roster with Shoxy, and Shoxy is really good. Yeah. And but yeah, we kind of talked about what in theory what they like to do, in theory how we can maybe counter what they do, and they're a team that really likes to move around a lot, and they can predict where you're going a lot. Like we ran into a lot of times where we would be going into A and they'd have 4 there. A lot of times at B, their eco stacks. We almost lost an eco because of it. So in terms of preparation for that match, we obviously had an idea of what they did. And as you said, the 30 minutes before, we were just kind of talking about, we know they like Inferno, and Inferno's a map that we beat them on before too. So we knew we had an idea. So we just kind of played our game, and we were able to beat them.
Okay, well, as you say, everybody's looking to Very Games as kind of the new benchmark. They did some kind of nutty things in that game that you seemed to be prepared for. Like in the second half, they rushed down Banana, and you killed 4 of them straight off the bat. It was kind of were they on a buy at the time?
I think they were buying.
Yeah, so it was just a random strat, right?
Yeah.
Did you counter that because you were just hitting your shots, or did you expect them? You're playing Very Games, you kind of expect that?
Well, when people start to do that against us, to be completely honest, that feels a lot like American CS. Right. The American teams will just randomly push 4 down mid, 4 down banana, 4 halls sometimes. Okay. So we were prepared for it in that regard. In our boot camp, nobody really did that kind of crazy stuff, and obviously Very Games is a team that would do that in a match to try to get a gay round or win an easy round for them. Yeah. I think one of the rounds where they pushed mid, I think they pushed 4 down mid round, and Sean sprayed through a smoke, killed 2, and then we were able to just kind of run with it. And the only thing I will say that they have been doing recently is their hall setup. I know a couple rounds I would go out to like the end of halls, and I think Shoxy would be playing in the little left corner, so I just come pre-firing it. And we know those guys like to play a lot, like 1 in the pit, 1 in the balcony, or 2 pit. So I think we were prepared for most of what they were throwing at us.
Okay, it's quite interesting that you say you felt prepared, because back in Paris a month ago, you played NIP. And you were less prepared, right? You said other teams were coming up to you after you'd lost and pointing things out that NIP do that's commonplace, but you just didn't expect. Do you feel, is there something about Very Games that you're just used to? Why a month ago were you less prepared and now you're expecting these things?
Well, comparing VG to NIP, I think VG has a more standard playstyle. It's a lot easier to try to work around picks on VG compared to NIP, because at any time NIP will just push something and you'll be killing the back, and then another guy will be killing the back somewhere else. Yeah. So VG is a little bit easier to kind of adapt to and kind of read what they're doing mid-round. Talking about ESWC, we didn't have a boot camp for that. You know, we kind of came in cold. We got off our flights the day before.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of sucks that we didn't lose a single match in our group stage, and we ended up having the second seed, and then we drew NIP for our first round. So unlucky there.
Yeah.
But then obviously the boot camp here helped us a lot. We learned a lot, and we were able to just come and bring it.
Okay, just before we move on to the boot camp, I want to talk about the very last round against Very Games, the fake to banana and then the plant on A. Inspired Counter-Strike. I mean, what was the what was the thought process behind that round? Because surely that's a risky play on the deciding round.
Yeah, we took banana. Actually, my computer crashed going up banana, so thankfully it came back. I had full nades. I had a Molotov. I was able to Molotov spindle. We held the site for so long, and you know they were kind of staying out of it. So I don't remember who exactly made the call. I think it was Brax actually. He's like, let's just go back to A. So him and one other guy ran back to A. Me and I think Brax stayed in banana or B, and we fought till we were almost, you know, the last second after the bomb was planted. I ended up leaving, going back to A, and I mean they thought it was B still for the longest time. You know, they just didn't have time coming back to A to defuse and kill us all. So it was definitely kind of a thing on the fly, and it's definitely something that we like to do when we're at LAN tournaments. It catches people off guard, and obviously it worked against those guys. So it was really, I liked it. It was real cool.
Yeah. Well, top of your group, it's hard to argue that it worked well. Okay, so going back to the boot camp in Stockholm, you were saying that you missed the trip to China. I was talking to Corey before your match. You said maybe the boot camp was better because you actually played more than you would have in China. Just talk us through the boot camp. How valuable was it? Who did you play? The full kind of picture, really.
Well, the first question about, you know, did we play more? We definitely played more here. Yeah. We've been here since Friday. Since Friday, we've been probably playing 13 hours a day at the boot camp. Really? But probably playing teams like, we played NIP a bunch of times, so we got really used to that kind of play style. We played Copenhagen Wolves, Fnatic, SK, pretty much all the top teams, other than Very Games. And SK wasn't until the last day because they were both in China. So, and Fnatic, actually, we didn't play till the last day. So all the China teams that went there, we didn't really play that much. But all the teams that were back, we pretty much played. You know, we had scrims all night, all day lined up, and it was great. You know, we were able to come, try our strategies, try everything we had. And, you know, one of the things that is kind of odd about our team is most of our strats are kind of theory crafted around, you know, do we think this is going to work against European teams? We'll try running it on American teams, but we don't know if it's going to work. So a lot of our strats, you know, we're testing out, we're adding new things, and yeah, I think it helped us a lot.
Okay, well, one other thing I want to tackle with you is the political question. You've gone further in this tournament so far than iBuyPower. They obviously dropped out yesterday. Why do you think you play so much better on LAN than iBuyPower? Because back on US soil in ESEA Invite, they're what, 8-0. What's the difference when you come over here in Europe?
I think that, you know, online we have a problem with like staying focused. Everyone has to AFK randomly. You know, a lot of times in our matches, like if you're talking about specifically the iBuyPower match, we had people lagging out. We had people freezing. I actually had 60 FPS online for the longest time. I just got, thanks to everyone who donated for the money for my new computer. Yeah, so online is kind of like a joke to us. It means something, but for the most part, I mean, it doesn't really matter that much. And why they're better online than at LAN, I don't really know. They're a good team. They have good players. Daze is a good leader. He should be able to lead those guys to a victory. But I don't know, maybe they're out of their comfort zone. Maybe it's the new game. They haven't really fully adapted to it. And yeah, I mean, I would have wished that they went further. And we all were rooting for them. As I said in an interview, you know, we put on our roaming data when we were in our train, trying to like rooting for them, seeing if they were winning. But you know, it's unfortunate that they didn't.
Okay. Do you feel any extra pressure now that you're the sole American? Because this tournament's pulling big numbers. You've got something like 60,000 spectators. Does that add to the pressure being the sole American team left?
Not really. I mean, we're just here to play our game. You know, we're not letting any of that, you know, oh, you're the only American team left, you have all the added pressure. No, you know, we're here, we're playing our game, we're here to win it, and that's what we're hoping to do.
Okay, well, your path to victory, you have to go through the quarters, semis, and finals. Quarters up next. You've had a look at the teams from Group D. Who would you like to play? Who's good in that group? What are your thoughts on the quarterfinals right now?
I think most people are kind of counting Astana as taking the first seed.
Yeah.
The other three teams in that group is Reason, SK, and Copenhagen Wolves.
Yeah.
So all three of those teams, to me, I haven't really been able to see Reason play, but I'm pretty sure they played pretty late last night, so they might be a little bit tired coming into today.
Yeah.
So other than that, I would say probably SK placing second, but Copenhagen Wolves is a good team too. They could place second easily. SK or Copenhagen Wolves could take first too. I mean, it's kind of a toss up. All four of those teams could have the potential to move on.
But you like your odds against all of them?
Yeah, I mean, we practice against every team but Reason, and we played pretty close to all of them. So I'm not too worried about who's. I'm not like, oh, I hope Astana gets first, or I hope Astana loses, or SK. But yeah, we're just ready to play. We're here. We want to win.
Okay. Well, sounds good, Spencer. Thank you very much for the interview, as always. Last but not least, before we go, shout-outs.
Sure. I want to give a shout out to the families, the friends, everyone supporting us, the sponsors of compLexity.
Do you know all of them now?
No, unfortunately not.
A lot of them.
Origin, DX Racer, Twitch, Newegg.
So many more.
It's a lot more. Thanks to all of them. Thanks to everyone who donated for my new computer, everyone that's watching, and yeah, thanks for supporting us.
Okay, well, Spencer, thank you very much again. Congratulations on the win, and best of luck for the rest of the tournament. I hope to be interviewing you guys again when you win, surely.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, everybody at ESEA.net, ESEAnews.com. Stay tuned for the rest of today and tomorrow as we continue our coverage here from DreamHack Winter 2013.